The salty air of the Aegean still lingered in Istanbul, a faint memory of distant voyages, as Piri Reis carefully unrolled a piece of gazelle skin on his work table. The old admiral, a man shaped by years at sea and the relentless pursuit of knowledge, felt the weight of history settle on his shoulders. This was no ordinary map. It was a fragment, yes, but one that seemed to hum with secrets that defied the world's understanding. It was the year 1513. Europe was still reeling from Columbus's bold journey across the Atlantic. The world was opening up, piece by piece, and explorers were racing to chart the unknown. But Piri Reis, with his weathered hands and eyes that had seen more horizons than most men could dream of, held something that should not exist. His map was a masterpiece, vibrant tapestry of coastlines and islands, showing the familiar shores of the Mediterranean, the new outlines of the Americas, and then something extraordinary, a southern landmass. A coastline drawn with surprising detail that looked uncannily like Antarctica continent that would remain hidden beneath ice for another 300 years. Picture the scene. The grand library of the Ottoman palace, sunlight streaming through high windows, dust motes swirling in the air. Piri Reis, surrounded by scrolls and astronomical tools, worked with quiet intensity. He didn't just copy maps, she synthesized them. He once wrote that his map was compiled from 20 different sources, some so old they dated back to the time of Alexander the Great. 20 maps. Who were these ancient cartographers, sailing in ships we can barely imagine? Who possessed such knowledge? This was the first tremor that shook the foundations of accepted history. The idea that advanced civilizations might have mapped the world in such detail began to take root, challenging everything scholars thought they knew. For centuries, the map lay mostly undisturbed, a curiosity admired for its artistry and precision. But the 20th century brought a new era of discovery, and with it, a fresh look at old mysteries. In 1929, the Piri Reis Map was rediscovered in the Topkapi Palace, sparking a wave of academic interest. But it wasn't until the 1950s that the true shock came. It was Professor Charles Hapgood, a quiet academic from Keene State College, who uncovered the map's most astonishing secret. Hapgood wasn't just a historian, he was a geographer with a deep understanding of glaciology. He compared the Piri Reis Map to modern seismic surveys of Antarctica's coastline, focusing on the Queen Maud Land region. What he found was electrifying. The contours on the ancient map, drawn more than 3 centuries before Antarctica was officially discovered, matched the land beneath the isonaut, the ice itself, but the actual coastline hidden below. If you're enjoying this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that bring history's greatest mysteries to life. This was no small detail. How could a map from the 16th century show a coastline buried under a mile of ice? The only explanation, one that sent chills through the academic world, was that the source maps Piri Reis used must have been based on observations made when Antarctica was ice-free. Here, the story takes its most dramatic turn. Scientists have since determined, using core samples, that Queen Maud Land was last free of ice about 6,000 years ago. 6,000 years! That means the original cartographers, those unknown masters of the ancient world, had not only sailed to the farthest reaches of the globe, but also developed mapping techniques so advanced that they could chart a landmass as if they had seen it from above. Imagine it, not the quiet library, but a wind-swept, forgotten coast thousands of years ago. What kind of ships braved those waters? What tools guided their journeys? Were they the legendary vessels of Atlantis, or the work of a civilization lost to time, with knowledge we are only beginning to rediscover? The implications are staggering. If the Piri Reis Map truly shows an ice-free Antarctica, then our timeline of human history, technology, and exploration is incomplete. It suggests that highly advanced civilizations existed in prehistory civilizations capable of global navigation, precise cartography, and perhaps even an understanding of Earth's long-term changes. Some researchers, inspired by the map's accuracy, have explored the controversial pre-Adamite theory, the idea that advanced societies existed before the last ice age, long before our accepted history begins. The Piri Reis Map becomes more than just a relic. It's a whisper from a forgotten past, a clue that challenges everything we think we know. And the mystery deepens. To map a coastline buried under ice, the original cartographers would have needed technology far beyond what we imagine for their time. Perhaps even a way to see through the ice itself. Or, perhaps, they possessed a different kind of knowledge, an intuitive grasp of the Earth that we can barely comprehend today. Of course, there are skeptics. Some argue that the map's Antarctica might be a misdrawn part of South America, or simply the result of artistic license. Others point to the difficulties of dating ancient maps and the risk of seeing patterns where none exist. But the uncanny accuracy of the subglacial contours, confirmed by modern science, makes these doubts harder to accept. The Piri Reis Map remains an enigma riddle that refuses to be solved. It forces us to ask difficult questions about our past, about the nature of knowledge, and about the limits of our understanding. Piri Reis himself could never have imagined the storm of wonder and controversy his map would unleash. He was simply a sailor, a scholar, piecing together fragments of ancient wisdom. Yet, in doing so, he became the keeper of a secret that echoes through the centuries. What else lies hidden not just beneath the ice, but beneath the layers of our own forgotten history? What other wonders are waiting to be discovered, ready to shatter our assumptions and leave us truly amazed? The answer, like the voices of the ancient navigators, remains just out of reach, but always calling us to look deeper, to question more, and to never stop exploring. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, don't forget to subscribe and join us as we uncover more mysteries that challenge the boundaries of history. The past is full of secret slits. Discover them together.